Live from downtown Macon, this is WGXA News live on YouTube.
Good evening, Middle Georgia. I'm Amanda Peralta.
I'm Greg Loyd. Amanda and I thank you for watching WGXA News at 5:30 on YouTube. Our top story this half hour, the trial for the man suspected in a fatal triple shooting in Macon back in 2020 is now underway.
Brianna Cook has been in the courtroom all day and walks us through what happened. Brianna?
The trial for Cesar Crockett Jr. started this morning. Now let's walk you through the timeline on how we got here today. Investigators say Crockett was in a fight with his son's mother. During the fight, they say he pulled out a gun and shot and killed her mother, stepfather, and sister. They then say he took his 2-year-old son. An Amber Alert was issued. He was tracked to Florida the next day. Investigators found his car on Interstate 75. Crockett led police on a chase along Interstate 4, which led to a 6-hour standoff before he was arrested. His son was in the car with him and was recovered safely. By the end of that week, with the child and his mother safe, family members honored the 3 killed with a balloon release. Now fast forward to court this morning. Several witnesses testified, including a deputy, a crime scene investigator, and Jamila French, the mother of the 2-year-old. French says she was cleaning the bathroom when the fight started. Her mom then came to see what was happening. She says that's when Crockett went into the bedroom to get a gun. French then described the next moments and when she found out what had happened.
He grabbed it, and I grabbed my mom, was shoving her in front of me, saying, "Run, he's got the gun, he's gonna shoot us, run." When I asked about my family, the officer just put his head down and said they're gone. I asked him who was gone. He just said they're gone. I asked him again, everybody.
Day 2 of the trial starts tomorrow morning on Wednesday. There will be witnesses testifying from Tampa, Florida. We will be following the story from start to finish with updates online and on air. Reporting live in Macon, Brianna Cook, WGXA News.
And just into the newsroom, Bibb County deputies are investigating a shooting that happened less than 2 hours ago. Here's what we know right now. The call for a shooting came in from West Forest Avenue. That's near the Brookdale Resource Center near Payne City.
Right now, the sheriff's office confirms one person was shot. Her injuries are not life-threatening. Investigators say the shooting may have been accidental, but they're still working to determine that. Follow WGXA News on air and online for updates. And today, one person is left injured in a local school put on lockdown following a shooting off of Houston Avenue.
The Bibb County Sheriff's Office says a man was shot in the 600 block of Ormond Terrace, but his injuries are not life-threatening. Now, this is the second time in the past month that a shooting on Ormond Terrace has caused Bruce Elementary to go on lockdown. The last one happened on April 26 when a man was shot in the leg.
No one at the school was hurt in either shooting, although students in April were given counselors after being scared by the nearby gunfire. Today's scheduled field day for kindergarten through 2nd graders was pushed indoors and guests were not allowed to attend.
The Georgia Bureau of Investigation says a feud between neighbors led to a fatal shooting. Agents say 21-year-old Napoleon Flowers shot his 56-year-old neighbor Jim Johnson during an argument Sunday afternoon on Forest Avenue in Eastman. Johnson was airlifted to Macon for treatment but died earlier today. Flowers remains in Dodge County and is now facing malice and felony murder charges.
And a Macon family is calling for peace by hosting an anti-violence rally at a peach orchard in Linmore Estates. The event begins at 6 this evening and is meant to honor the memory of Tez Clark, who was shot and killed almost a year ago on Ibanez Street off of Houston Avenue. The family is calling for justice and answers in his case and is hoping to encourage others to keep violence at bay.
In your state news, the Fulton County District Attorney is fighting off efforts to throw out the work of the grand jury investigating former President Trump for election interference. She's also arguing against a new judge taking over the case. Willis wrote Trump's team in trying to stop a criminal investigation before any charges are filed. The former president and some of his allies are accused of trying to overturn Georgia's election results in the 2020 presidential election. Trump has denied any wrongdoing. Willis plans to announce this summer whether she'll bring charges against Trump or his allies. Today was another hot day here in the mid-states, and that means the heat. I think the heat is going to stick around, but that also means that it also brings rain a lot.
Yeah, and opportunities though to go to the beach and go swimming, do the things that you and I like to do. So we're not going to complain too much about the heat.
Yeah, but we know someone who is complaining.
Yes,
meteorologist Ryan Marando.
Every day, just every day. It's always. But as long as you guys are wearing your sunscreen, I won't complain for this heat and humidity. But we are seeing the storms out there as well, tracking this line of storms that's moving really through downtown Atlanta right now, across the Georgia and Alabama line. This is continue to head our way over the next few hours, so we could get some heavy downpours and frequent lightning strikes as we head further into our Tuesday evening. We do have one cell that's popped up over Sumter County, some frequent lightning strikes, heavy downpours over Americus right now, but more activity should start to pick up here over the next few hours. It's dry though. A live lookout over Macon with our Wilson Bryant Heating and Air Skycast Network. Lovely bright sunshine, those fair weather cumulus clouds, but those feels like temperatures are a lot higher than the actual air temperatures when you factor in the humidity. 90 degrees currently in Macon, 91 it feels like in Irvington, 93 in Edenton, and 87 degrees it feels like in Vienna. So for the rest of your Tuesday night, we will have those scattered storms that begin to fire up by around 10 o'clock or so as temperatures fall down into the mid-60s. We have a cold front that's coming through tomorrow that's going to bring us the threat for some severe weather. I'll talk about the timing and the threats that we could see coming up in your full forecast. Greg.
Okay, thank you, Ryan. Now is a great time to download the WGXA weather app. Ryan will be back in less than 20 minutes with your 10-day forecast.
A Perry mother of a 1-year-old is asking the community for help as her little boy battles a kidney disease.
Carlos Stevens spoke to the mom today about how you can help and has the full story.
If you look at the smiling, energetic face of 1-year-old Lennox Powell, his mom, Tajul Taylor, says you'd never guess he's facing health complications.
When I was expecting Lennox, he had a birth defect, basically. He had something called posterior urethral valve, so that's tiny membranes that block your urethral. So it causes you not to be able to urinate.
Taylor says that brought even more health issues for little Lennox.
Because of that, all of the urine backed up into his kidneys, and it caused him severe kidney damage.
Lennox stayed in the neonatal intensive care unit for more than 10 days after his birth. He underwent surgery, but doctors say he needs a new kidney, and the family is praying for a miracle.
I look at my 8-year-old and I'm like, I've seen him hit all these milestones, and I wonder if my 1-year-old is going to be able to hit those because he has a life-threatening illness.
Taylor says her family has been her rock through the process. In fact, her sister got tested to see if she can donate a kidney.
People think that you just have to match blood types. That's not it. You have to go through a full body physical, so many different screenings. So she's in the process of doing that right now. But I don't know if she's going to 100% work out. So I would like to have as many possible donors as I can, just in case that doesn't work out.
Once they find a match, he will have his transplant at Emory in Atlanta. For now, the family continues to search for that donor. And if you want to see if you could be a donor match for Lennox or others, you can sign up to be a donor at EmoryLivingDonor.org. You can also find this story on our website to help support. Reporting in Warner Robins, I'm Carlos Stevens, WGXA News.
To state news, in Georgia Power customers, it's official, your electric bills will jump 12% come June. State regulators approved the boost today to make up for the higher cost of fuel. The 5 commissioners voted unanimously to let Georgia Power collect an additional $6.6 billion from its 2.7 million customers over the next 3 years. The average household monthly utility bill will increase by almost $16.
The deadline for a default is coming next month, and Politico is now reporting that President Biden is playing ball with the GOP on spending and the budget. Biden's demands include nixing GOP plans to roll back his signature legislation. The IRA, same with student debt relief, a debt limit extension of at least 2 years, and limiting spending caps to just 2 years. The White House says this is separate from the debt deal. Lawmakers from both sides are feeling the heat.
On anything, that's why I'm so concerned. Here we are sitting on a Monday. You really have to have this all done by the end of the week.
We need to get to a deal, right? Getting to a deal is the most important thing. Both sides need to move out of their corner. Both sides are going to have to give in order to get there.
As far as concessions, according to Politico, Biden is willing to accept clawing back billions in unspent COVID funds and restrictions on certain safety net programs for the poor. The last part might be a bridge too far for some Democrats who have fought for years to prevent such restrictions.
Well, Congress is struggling to regulate artificial intelligence, let alone understand it.
Today, a Senate subcommittee held a hearing with the head of the company behind ChatGPT. Madeline Rivera reports from Washington.
OpenAI CEO Sam Altman is making an urgent plea to Congress, siding with their calls to regulate artificial intelligence.
My worst fears are that we, the field, the technology, the industry, cause significant harm to the world.
Altman is the head of the company behind ChatGPT, transformative artificial intelligence software able to generate human-like responses. He agrees with critics that we still don't know how risky the growing technology may be, and says regulation by an American or global agency might be needed.
I would require independent audits, so not just from the company or the agency, but experts who can say the model is or isn't in compliance with these stated safety thresholds.
Lawmakers on both sides are worried about the potential for widespread job losses and AI's ability to mislead people, especially as the campaign season heats up.
With an election upon us, with primary elections upon us, that we're going to have all kinds of misinformation.
Senate Majority Leader Chuck Schumer has met with tech leaders, including Elon Musk, to discuss safeguards. But the U.S. has lagged behind its allies and adversaries in regulating and investing in AI, raising the question of whether it's too late to rein in the technology.
Always follow the money, guys, right? This is projected AI to be a $17 trillion business by 2030. There's a lot of money to be made.
Congress holds another hearing on AI on Wednesday, this time examining the technology's effect on the music industry. In Washington, Martha Rivera, Fox News.
Well, today the Warner Robins Rotary Club honored some of Houston County's graduating seniors with a jump start for their futures. The students were rewarded with scholarships for their outstanding academic performances and commitment to community service. One student says it makes all the difference to help her achieve her goals.
Winning the scholarship feels great. It obviously goes towards my future education, and being that I want to be a forensic scientist, every single penny counts, and I know that I'll make a great influence on the world.
The honorees' parents, the Board of Education, local leaders, and Rotary leadership were also there to celebrate, along with the four winners: Molly Brown, Michaela Moody, Gay Gibbs, and Charity Smith. Congratulations to all of you.
And the Warner Robins mayor took some time today to chat with mommy leaders. The roundtable centering around work-life balance gave working mothers the platform to share their experiences with having a family while also having a fulfilling career.
Wanting to get back into the workforce, if you've got little ones that are going into school or you just want to get back into the working field, to know that there's resources out there.
I want them to feel empowered. Empowerment is what I want them to take away from this. We can run businesses, we can run government, we can run organizations and work in all of these places, and we can still be a great mom too.
According to Mayor Patrick, this is the first time for the events.
And Mayor Patrick was busy today because in a press conference, she gave us a glimpse at this year's Independence Day celebrations.
In 80 years, we've become the 11th largest city in the entire state. So this year, being our 40th Independence Day celebration, shows we've been celebrating this for half of our lifespan as far as the city is concerned. So we're super excited to bring back some old friends and new friends to celebrate with us on July 1st. So we want people to come out with their families, have a great time, listen to some great music, and make some lasting memories.
The 40th annual Independence Day event will take place on July 1st at the
Been on our show here before, so he definitely needs a good home. And you said he's about how old?
About a year.
And a lab mix, and fully vetted and ready to go.
Absolutely.
Now, if someone would like to adopt Shiloh, before we talk about one other thing, how would they go about doing that?
You go to our Facebook page at All About Animals Rescue in Macon, send a message to one of our fantastic volunteers, and they will quickly get back to you as soon as they can. Thank you.
Let's find Shiloh a good home. And also, we want to mention now that the All About Animal Rescue is needing some help. Tell us about it.
We are looking for a great kennel worker. That's our only paid position. You need to love animals and not scared of hard work and show compassion and love, and it will be repaid by the love these dogs give you back.
Exactly. All right, I couldn't have said it better myself. Thank you so much, Allison and Lisa, and let's go ahead and take care of that. Find Shiloh a good home. Thank you.
Thank you, Gary.
Thank you.
A scary scene at a youth baseball game over the weekend. A 7-year-old catcher was engulfed by a short-lived dust devil Sunday afternoon in Jacksonville, Florida. Sand and debris spiraled around Bauer Zoya for a few seconds before the 17-year-old umpire rescued him. Zoya said it felt like 10 minutes to him, but that dust didn't stop him from playing. His dad poured water on him to get the dirt out of his eyes, and, well, he went right back to the game. He's a tough kid.
I know. That's pretty fascinating that they're just kind of like swirled up and dust. It's kind of
I didn't know that could
scary.
happen.
Yeah, sometimes you get the
scary to
little
death.
like look at that. That's
Okay,
kind of fascinating.
I gotta tell you,
It looks like a video game.
most days I feel that that's the kind of luck I have. I'm sure he's a distant cousin. I could see that happening to me. Would that be terrifying because you don't see it happening anywhere else around? All of a sudden, all this dust.
And then like, why specifically in one spot? It's scary.
It was just a little like,
It's like a horror
mezzo,
movie.
like cyclonic. Let's throw in some big words so I can confuse everyone.
Let's please don't. I'm already confused.
I'm happy he's okay though.
Yeah,
I'm
me
happy
too.
he's okay.
Yes, absolutely.
Enough, enough with your big words.
Yes. Enough with your big words. That's going to do it for this edition of WGXA News Live at 5:30 on YouTube.
Stick with us on YouTube for our live show at 6 coming up in just a few minutes. Also, you can catch it on ABC 16.